We're now joined by Mets analyst Todd Zeile. Todd, I hate to bring this up, but on Friday on BNNY, you said that you thought Jacob deGrom was going to be the opening day starter for the Mets. How stunned are you that he's going to be the opening day starter for the Texas Rangers?
Very stunned. And yeah, you mentioned the festive, tree and such behind me, but it's not a great Christmas for most Mets fans. But look, on Friday, I did say that I thought he was going to be the opening day starter. That had changed from the opinion that I had had a couple of weeks before, where I thought he might lean towards the Texas Rangers. I thought family might be a consideration, but as things progressed, I thought it looked like, all things being equal, he might remain a Met. I think I'm as shocked as everybody, but when I say shocked, in baseball, I know that guys make decisions based on a lot of different factors. And for Jake, it became pretty clear that he just was not wanting to pitch in New York City any longer.
You went through the free agency process, so you're no stranger to it. Obviously, money is a motivating factor for pretty much everybody, but how much does location and perhaps a change of scenery play a factor, especially for somebody like deGrom?
Well, it's interesting. I think the way this unfolded, obviously, the package for Jake was probably more than the Mets were at least thinking they were going to go, because the fifth year was something that nobody had even talked about, and a 6-year option on top of that. So certainly money is a factor. Having said that, having been through the free agent process, like you said, I reflect back to when I signed with the Mets in 2000, a much different, situation from a magnitude standpoint. But I was, for all intents and purposes, signed and sealed with the Texas Rangers, got to winter meetings, and the Mets moved quickly. I didn't give the Rangers a chance to give a last and final offer. I signed with the Mets. They were upset about it. It was a surprise. So I know when things sometimes seem they're going to be one way and go a different way, that's part of the game. And I think, you have to get from Jake what the considerations were. For me, I thought opposite of what we're talking about a lot of times with Jake right now is I wanted an opportunity to win. I didn't think Texas was going to be there. I thought the Mets had that opportunity. I turned out in a World Series in 2000. I'm wondering if Jake is thinking family, property, get the kids out of New York City, take the money, and not worry as much about winning, or if he thinks there's going to be an opportunity to win there in Texas.
It's okay if Texas Rangers get deGrom, as long as we got you, Todd. With deGrom gone, the level of importance that the Mets signed Justin Verlander or Carlos Rodon is obviously at an all-time high. Which one would you prefer?
Wow, that is a tricky one. I think the Mets should pursue both of them with quite a bit of energy, and I think losing Jake opens up a big part of a budget that they had reserved for pitching. Look, I like Verlander in the short term. You just got to be questioning a guy matching Max Scherzer at the top of a rotation that are going to be 40 and 38 going into the season, and guys that, just are going to have some propensity to potentially break down. Rodon, on the other hand, much younger. I think he's got more upside, coming off a very solid year, an injury-free year after his Tommy John kept him out for a season. So he's a guy that I like. I like the way he pitched. I like the way he attacked. It's a good left-hander in the rotation. So I would go after both of them. I think if you had to pick one or the other, I would take Rodon actually for the longevity, as opposed to having Max and Justin both at the top of this rotation.
Yeah, these are questions that the Mets front office is going to have to answer. But reports are that Chris Bassitt is looking for a 4 to 5 year deal. Is that too long, in your opinion, for you to consider bringing Bassitt back to the Mets?
Not really. I mean, look, he's going to be 33. I think you're going to expect that he's a guy that's kept himself in very good shape. He was a Bulldog this season. He had probably the most consistent year of any of the Mets starters. He finds a way to get out of the mound, eat up innings. I don't expect that to change. I don't know what the numbers are going to look like on top of the 4 years or so, but I think he is a guy that I would feel comfortable extending to that period. I don't think it's going to impact him at all if he has a long-term deal. I think you're going to get the same type of performance. And as we saw last year, especially with that combination of Max Scherzer and his leadership at the top, Bassitt was right there with him. He's a Bulldog. He carries himself, and he expects things out of the other guys that I think makes the rest of the team better as well.
Todd, great seeing you. And as I said before the show, very impressed by your tree. We'll see you next week from sunny San Diego from the winter meetings.